Hey gang, welcome back to the shop. Bob here at Party Shop Shenanigans, and it's great to have you with me. You know, it's been a long summer. It's been a hot minute since I put a video out because I've been spending most of my weekend time over working with Thomas and Calum at the Black and Blue Garage. That's right, we're working on the Bleep and Jeep Beast Wars Challenge, our 1994 Isuzu Amigo, which has been undergoing quite a change. Make sure you check out all three of our channels. We've got the Black and Blue Garage, we've got Project XJ, and of course, right here, you're already at Party Shop Shenanigans. Today, I'm going to work on a project for the Amigo, but I don't have the Amigo here in the shop. I wonder what I can do with a retired speed limit sign. Okay, here's what we're working with today. This speed limit sign, it measures 4 feet, that's 48 inches, by 5 feet, 48 by 60 inches. What I want to do for the Amigo, if you look at an earlier video, you'll see where we put the fuel tank in, and I want to build a cover that will protect that, be a place we can put our cooler and put a toolbox. Now this sign has been retired. We did not steal it. It's legit, okay? If you look close, here, let's do this. If you look close, you'll see it's beat up pretty good. Corners all curled up. I beat one side of it out already. You can see another corner down here that's beat up. And it's been out on the freeway and run over and from a construction zone. And this aluminum is both lightweight and strong, so it's going to make a great cover, a great cover for our toolbox. Now, I made a template, which is not going to make a whole lot of sense to you right now necessarily, but here's the picture, if you can read this. Imagine this is the Isuzu. Imagine under here is a fuel tank. This is going to go up, over, and down. I'm going to need to bend some tabs so I can bolt it to the floorboard of that Isuzu. I've got a cutout I'll need to make here, which I made a template. Bing, bang, boom. And then I've got this other template for the driver's side, just a little notch also. You'll see when we install this in a couple weeks. So I think at this point, I just need to lay this out. I need to beat these corners out straight and just start with a blank canvas so I have something to work with. I think what we'll do here, we'll use old shoddy here, the old shot-filled hammer. Okay, now the question is, what next, right? Well, so part of the fun is going to be trying to decide how to make this work. Now, according to my template here, I need 54 inches, which I can get over here. I want this to go across the back of the Amigo. I'm going to have to put a bend in here and curl up an edge so I've got a flange to anchor to. I'll have a flat spot and bend it down. Now, it would have been fun if I could have maybe used, if this was 54 inches across, I could have used the words the right direction, but what the heck, we'll still have an old speed limit sign. It'll be reflective. If we do anything at night, it will be especially annoying. That'll keep it fun. So let's see how I want to lay this thing out, because I don't really know yet how I'm going to do this. Okay, I decided to put this up on some sawhorses now that I've got it beat generally into submission. Going to talk through a couple of challenges here. One of the challenges is going to be, got to get this all laid out. Now, if you've ever done origami or any of that stuff, you'll know that it can be interesting. What I'm going to want to do is I need to take a notch out here. This needs to extend over. This is actually going to be where the wheel well is on the Amigo. You can't see the Amigo, so it doesn't make sense. But this is going to go where the tailgate opens, swings open. We're going to see this and this bench top here with a toolbox and a cooler. Our gas filler hose needs to go through here. Goes down to the toolbox. I'm sorry, to the fuel tank. And so this little cutout here, that's what this is mocked up to be. And I've got another little notch here. That's what this little notch will be. Doesn't mean much to you right now. But what I've got to figure out is the layout here of where I'm going to put my bend for a flange here. This will come up so I can attach it. And I got to come up 9 inches, make this bend, cut out this notch. Yeah. So let's see what we can do for some layout. Okay, so if this makes any sense at all to you, what you'll see is I'm going to cut out this corner right here. I'm going to cut out this corner. In fact, I'm going to cut this whole end off and here. If I don't mark with an X where my waist is, I make silly mistakes. So when that's trimmed, this is trimmed, and these two corners are notched out, what I can do is right along here is going to get bent down. Right along here is going to get bent down so that I'll have this hump. What I have to figure out is out here at the 1 inch mark, I need to fold this over. I'll come down 9 inches with a 1 inch lip. I went down 9 inches and I want a 1 inch lip for this thing to sit on. This little cutout is going to be where our gas filler is on the Amigo. Again, you don't see it right now. You will when it goes in. This is a little notch of something that was in the way. So my challenge now is, what am I going to cut this with? A cut-off disc with aluminum just loads up. So I think it's going to be getting the old Sawzall out and making a whole lot of racket. Here goes nothing. Okay, smooth like butter. That was real time. Let's see if we can speed things up a bit now. Okay, just like that, we have a piece of blank origami. Now this aluminum cut pretty nicely actually with that Sawzall blade. Pretty forgiving. It's even old goat like me could run most of it with one hand. I think what I'm going to do next is I need layout to get a 1-inch bend here. And I need to get a 1-inch bend here before I bend these down. I think that might be my easier route. And I'm not so sure. I've got this piece of 1-inch angle iron. Not so sure if I want to try to clamp, then whack it, or just use the edge of my table. I don't know. What am I working with here? 39 inches. Yeah. I'm better off just to use my workbench here. So let me reposition. Okay, we're going to give this a go. I'm not sure how this is going to work out, but in theory, I should be able to put this guy right up here. What I need is a block, don't I? Hang on, where's my block? This should get me pretty close. Put this 4x4 block under here. Gosh, I wish it was longer. I'll just leave it like that. Okay, what I did is I made a mark here. I want a 1-inch lip, so I made my mark at 1 1/8, assuming I'm going to have some loss there, some rollover. This is a highly accurate job I'm doing here. Now the bottom of my bench here is actually boxed out to about here. And then the C channel from there down is not. So I've got a good grip here. The question is, can I get to everything? No matter how big your shop is, it always needs to be bigger. I am happy to have my 2-car garage. And even happier to say soon, I'm going to have a much better size garage. That's for a future episode. Let's see if I can get you. I'm working with just an 1/8-inch lip, 1/4-inch lip down here, so I'm not sure how this is going to hold. That's what I thought you would do. Well, let's see how much reach this C clamp has. Okay. I still want a little bit more on it than that. You're just going to walk all over me, aren't you, booger? Huh. Well, this is just being a stinker. But that's okay. I specialize in stinker. Here we go. But you know what? I about did this the wrong way. Got to pay attention to what we're doing. I got to flip this over. This piece is going to bend down. I want this to bend up. You almost saw Bob make a big mistake. Okay, so once again, now that I know my top from my bottom, I'm going to clamp that rascal on there. And we're going to clamp this rascal up and under here like so. Golly, there we go. Okay, and now the real question is do I want to use this brass hammer or do I want to use my shot-filled hammer? Let's see. Shot one's working just fine. Someday I'll have a shop with a brake. Until then, I have a shop with a big piece of C-channel. Thank you, Dave Elder. May need to use that hard hammer before long. This soft one isn't going to make for a good edge, is it? Let's see what the brass hammer does. Well, 6 to 1, half dozen the other, huh? My arm's getting tired. It'll happen when you become more seasoned in life like me. Oops, it's getting my hammer. I think I'm going to go grab a different hammer. Hang on. There we go. It ain't pretty. It won't make the cover of Hot Rod magazine. And I'm more than confident Chip Foose will not be calling Bob Pardee any time to do his fabrication. But I'll tell you what, that's going to do the job just fine. Okay, I'm going to pull this, flip it around, do the same thing on the opposite edge. I'll be back with more soon. Okay, well that worked so well. Heck, I think I'm going to do the same thing now to bend these down. Be great if this bench was out in the middle of the room, but I can tell you, it takes 2 small men and 1 healthy lad to move it, so we're going to forego that. I mentioned earlier on here, I wanted a 1-inch lip, and I am at right at 1 inch. I went 1 1/8 inches to my mark because I knew the thickness of material and how it wrapped was going to cause some creep. Now, guys who do this on the regular and have equipment, they'll tell you all the technical reasons. I just know that if I'm going to fold something over a long distance, and it's you know, 1/8 inch or better, actually about 3/16 or better, it's not going to fold right on this line. It's going to creep out a little bit. So I'm going to set this just a whisker beyond, and we'll get to whacking this one down as well. Kind of fun. Are you starting to see the vision? If I had curly hair, I would point out what happy little clouds we're making here. We're just wanting the cloud to come out of the sign. Or not. I'm going to try something that's probably not smart here. Sorry, I'm showing you my best side. Nope. Bad idea. Even with a lard butt like mine, that won't work. So, let's beat it into submission. Not going to try to do it all at once, a little at a time. Right on that line. Whew, old fat boy did a workout doing this. I'm sure there was a better way, but I'm committed. Or maybe I should be. We're going to try this 3-pound solid one, see if it works any better. I know I'm putting a lot of dents in this, but it's not going. I don't like doing that. Doesn't feel good on the hand. This is where this aluminum shows its strength. Oops, let's not rip stuff. Let's see. We might need a different method for this one. Okay, I'm going to try something a little bit different here. Got this piece of 1 inch by 2 inch box tubing. I'm going to see if that'll hold it down, keep it from bouncing quite so much. That seems to be my Achilles heel at this time, is there's just too much movement. And so there's no way for the metal to bend. Okay, lesson number 2, boys and girls. Let's not hit your nuts and bolts bin that's overhead when you're swinging a hammer. Duh. Okay, back at it. Hopefully without throwing parts everywhere. Nope, doesn't help when things pop right off of there. Okay, well, let me step back and ponder this. In the words of Ian Russell, I need to get out my envisioning tool, figure out how I'm going to do this. Stick around, I'll come back with a solution. Let's see if this is any different. I did move old Bertha back a little bit. Got a couple better vices, or clamps here. Clamped it back where I could. Let's see if I can use some leverage differently. Oh yeah, she's good metal. Who'd have thunk that aluminum would be that strong, right? That's why we're going to use it for the Amigo. This thing is wanting to creep on me a little bit. Not the end of the world as we know it. Let's see if we can keep on keeping on here. Well, we're making some progress there. Let's see. Whew, she got a lot of spring to her. What do you guys think? There's got to be another way to do this. What if I flip this over and I pull it up into what I'm clamping? I'll be right back. So this is a booger no matter how you stack it. If I had somebody here to help, they could keep pressure on this while I was whacking it. This is some good stuff. Don't want to cut relief. I could cut relief notches so it would bend easier, but then that in theory weakens it. Can't weld something up to it. I'd have to pop rivet it or screw it. So let's see. Maybe I can just keep a little steady pressure on it like this. Yeah, she's a good one. Trying to keep my line as much as I can here. It's not going to be perfect. I'm trying not to roll it more than absolutely necessary. Yeah, I know this has moved back a little bit. Let's see what happens when we bring it back. This has been an exercise in holy cow. A cow with no blessings is not so holy. It's just a cow. Yeah, she's a fun one, huh? See, if I had something behind there to pull, that would be kind of handy, wouldn't it? I don't have anything good to pull with, though. See, it's that spring that makes it such a booger. Okay, well, I'm going to keep at it. Next time you see me, I'll be plumb wore out, and I'll have a nice U-shaped stand here. We hope. so for this other side, I'm getting creative. You might recall the problem I was having was the spring in this. It's a lot of mass that I'm trying to bend. And I need someone to help me. So I have this piece of 1x2 tubing I stretch across here. I've got a ratchet strap going down to my bench there. Ratchet strap going down to my bench here. I have them both under a pretty fair amount of tension right now. This is clamped down in the back, clamped in the straight in an effort to try to keep something from hopping around. Let's see if I can get some relief here. Oh yeah. Now the problem is this is going to be the front of the shelf behind the back seat. That's going to be a tailgate. That one's beat to snot. So everybody will get to see my practice side. Oh yeah, this is doing the trick. Let's see here. Put some more pressure down. That's good over here. With any luck, I won't be cutting 2 new ratchet straps. Oh, this is working much better. All right. I'm digging that. Get this moved over because I'm getting into my clamp. All right, let's take some pressure off of here so I can fix my straps. Because they're pulling funny here. After all, this is exactly what they're designed to be used for, right? You know, when you have a hard enough time, you can do stuff like this alone. You just have to step back and think it through. Just think it through. Something my old man used to say all the time. I'd say, hey, Dad, can you help me with this? Or how's that work? And he'd say, figure it out. Boy, that bugged me when I was a kid. But as an adult, thank you, Dad. Because I will now encounter challenges like this. And I'll figure it out. It's good to ask for help. It's good to have help. Nothing wrong with that. But if you happen to be working alone on something, figure it out. You can do it. Okay, let's get another good bite here. Hopefully that doesn't come loose and pop me in the nose. Make for good video, but it would not feel good. Okay, you got some good tension on you. Yeah, I should have thought about this about an hour and a half and a pint of sweat ago. Looky here. Look at that move. Yeah. Let's get another good bite on here. You're watching me real time do what the other side took me over an hour beating on. Might have made up a couple new words. I don't think any of them would have been appropriate for YouTube. And they did no good. This, however, did some good. Okay. I'm kind of bummed that I have to close the garage door right now because it's toasty outside and there's no air conditioning in here. But the sun on that west side was making it impossible for me to share this little solution with you. Okay, good and tight. Love it. All right. Let's see if we can do some finish work here. Okay, I'm going to clean up this edge a little bit. That's the sound we want, nice and solid. How's that? There we go. Not too bad. Can't see it. Well, I have to try. Let's clean up this side a little bit too. I'm not sure that it matters what hammer I use, but I'm using my brass hammer just because soft metal on soft metal. Guess it won't stretch it. This isn't exactly going to the Mecum auction. Okay, so I'll set this over here. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I'll set it right here. Oh gosh, I'll let you see the ugly side since that's what everybody else is going to see when we get to that point anyway. All right, that is the nearly finished product right there. As I told you, the whole idea is that this is going to sit over the gas tank. The tailgate for the Amigo swings out this way. I've got a little notch to take out here for it to fit well. And I've got a notch to cut out right here for my fuel filler to go through. Well, that's going to button it up for today. About as much fun as I can take on a hot afternoon. Now, this might be a 15-minute or so video. Everything up until that last bend has taken me about 2.5 hours. So it's been a warm one, but I'm happy with what we're going to land with. This is going to cover the fuel tank in that 94 Amigo for our Beast Wars build-off challenge machine. We can put this toolbox right here. I'm going to bolt it down so we can reach over the side to get to it. We may have another box we'll put on top here for recovery gear, room for a cooler. I didn't square these up quite at a 90 yet. They can come in a little further, but I'm going to wait until I get to the Amigo. We'll fine tune it then, because next time you see this, we'll be mounting it in the Amigo. It's not pretty. Yes, it was a retired traffic sign. We did not swipe it. It was authorized. Just need to know that. And if we do any work at night or any night rides, it will be a bright, obnoxious pain in the neck because of this reflective material. No question about it. Hey, remember, hit like, hit subscribe. Go check out the Black and Blue Garage as well as Project XJ. We're chronicling this Beast Wars Challenge build, our 94 Isuzu Amigo. In October, we'll be at Windrock with 6 other teams. Looking forward to one heck of a good time. This is all about bragging rights. So come along for the ride, would you? Go out and make somebody smile today. You both deserve it. Bob out. Now, where's that ice water?